and we're going to build 277 new homes here.
In place of?
In place of 73.
Great.
What needs to change? We need a greater grant.
Okay.
Everybody's going to say that. But when I started in this 30 years ago, you got 100% grant and then you're on costs. And so there needs to be a shift between revenue funding and capital funding of housing. And that's really, really important for us as a country, that we stop paying the money in benefits and actually start building homes, because that's better for the economy longer term.
Yeah.
You don't do this job because you want to produce a unit, a number. This is about lives, this is about homes, and that's what we absolutely need. We need people that really care, that can see that homes transform lives. That's what we need.
Hello, I'm Toby Fox from 1.5 Million New Homes, the local government challenge sponsored by Redloft and Lovell. And we're visiting a different council every month to find out what works and what needs to change to get more homes built. And this month we're in the London Borough of Sutton, and we're here on the Elm Grove, an estate that's being regenerated, with Adam Tucker, the head of Housing Regeneration. So Adam, tell us where we are and what the potential for this place is and what's happening here.
Okay, so we're at Elm Grove in Sutton, and this is a failing estate, and the potential is massive because these homes are just not fit for purpose anymore, and we're going to build 277 new homes here.
In place of?
In place of 73.
Right.
So, you know, it's a big thing for the centre of Sutton. The High Street's just there, so it's very, very central. It's a great place.
And what kind of journey have you had to get it to the stage it's at now?
Well, it's been the classic, to be honest, the regeneration. So we've had, you know, existing residents, and we worked extremely hard with existing residents. We've had a ballot. That was an early ballot in the process of ballots. We've got about 76%.
Okay.
And then we went through a competitive process to secure a developer partner, and we secured a developer partner, and we're now on site and delivering homes. So
and over what sort of period is that?
So we have been working on this for 7 years previously. So it was the gestation of this is about 7 years to get to this point.
In those 7 years, things have changed.
Yes.
So how have you been able to respond to those changes in cost of delivery, materials, labour, building safety, all of the plethora of problems?
Well, one of the things we did at Sutton was we took a very early decision that we needed to do two-stair cores. So that wasn't news to us because I could see that it was coming down the track. So that was good. Yeah. We took that on board.
So there's something in there about anticipating policy.
Thinking about where the policy is going and planning accordingly, which is what we did. But it's quite interesting because what you'll find in London in terms of the vernacular is that a lot of buildings are now going to be 6 stories or 16. And that's exactly what we've got here, because most of this is 6 stories, which obviously keeps us underneath, you know, the certain requirements for fire. And then there's one marker building at 16 stories. So.
Okay, and talk a bit about the procurement process for your development partner. What sort of process did you?
We did a competitive dialogue.
Yeah. That's quite an expensive kind of process.
Well, if you get the right partner, it's not. If you think about £100 million regeneration scheme, if you're going to spend a bit of money getting it right for the residents, that's important. Yeah. So I don't mind investing money in that stage. I think it's the right thing to do, because you've got a long-term relationship with the partner. It's kind of like finding the first person to get married to. Now you're going to invest in that, aren't you? So that's what we did, and it was to be honest, it was the funnest process I'd done, and we had great conversations and really creative ideas. And in fact, you know, Lovell, who we secured as the partner, came up with an innovative scheme, which was taking a certain level of risk, but actually is much, much better than the original scheme. So we've improved this beyond every single KPI on this scheme is now better than it was.
Right, but I heard the R word, risk. So how much risk have you taken on in order to get to that level, that quality, and does it keep you awake at night at all?
No, it doesn't, because Sutton has a risk map. You know, every local authority takes its decisions about risk, and Sutton we haven't done JVs yet. So we've decided to do a traditional DA. So the sales risk and the construction
development
risk,
agreement.
Development agreement, is with Lovell.
Right.
So, and that suits Sutton in terms of where we're at with our risk profile for the moment. So it literally, it doesn't keep me awake at night.
Yeah.
So.
But that means it costs a little bit more?
No, we make sure that we benchmark this against other things. And actually, I think this scheme is very competitive for a high density in London scheme.
What has to change to enable you to be able to do this more often?
Good question, Toby. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's harder to do development than ever in my 30-year career, actually. So, you know, that's just true. What needs to change? We need a greater grant. Everybody's going to say that. But when I started in this 30 years ago, you got 100% grant and then your on costs. And so there needs to be a shift between revenue funding and capital funding of housing. And that's really, really important for us as a country, that we stop paying the money in benefits and actually start building homes, because that's better for the economy longer term. So that's one thing. The lower interest rates, local authority finance settlements need to be changed, because every local authority will tell you they are absolutely to the wire in terms of what they can do. Temporary accommodation budgets, you know, it's tight. And so a different local authority settlement would be great. I'm really pleased that the new government has recognised and changed some things in the planning system, and the 10-year rent settlement, that's a game changer for us. That's massively improved by almost 100 million our HRA position, just that alone.
And with that HRA, we've heard earlier that you're actually using that to deliver more homes directly.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. You know, we are investing. We've also got a balance with our existing stock. It's important to maintain our existing homes, you know, to a very high standard, but we are also significantly investing in new stock as well.
What else has to change?
We have to get people excited about the industry again. And graduates into the industry. And, you know, earlier on we spoke to that, and that's what, you know, again, what Sutton is, you know, we need people who are passionate. You don't do this job because you want to produce a unit, a number. This is about lives, this is about homes, and that's what we absolutely need. We need people that really care, that can see that homes transform lives. That's what we need.
And how are we going to go about getting those people?
I think you have to lead by example. I think you have to demonstrate passion, because passion is attractive, isn't it? You look at somebody that is absolutely inspired about what they do, and you think, actually, I'd quite like to do that too, actually, because they are really energised by what they do.
Yeah. Adam, thank you very much indeed for your contribution to getting 1.5 million new homes built.
Thank you, Toby. Cheers.
So that's it for another episode of 1.5 Million New Homes, the local government challenge, sponsored by Redloft and Lovell. We're going to be back with more from London Borough of Sutton in a couple of days. But until then, if you like what you've seen, please click like and subscribe. It really helps us if we build our audience, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.